Hey, so today I kind of want to make an FFA guide, or not FFA, just a tagging guide, because of the fact that there's just nothing on the platform that has one of those. I made a poll a few weeks ago talking about it, asking if what people feel about it. Everyone said yes, so I decided to make it today. If you're, I plan on going over a bunch of stuff like just FFA, timing, stuff like that, which hopefully is useful information. And so I have a few words at the end of the video I'd like to share because they're kind of important if you're wanting to get better at the game and look for a community to play with. So I wanted to talk about that. And then also I wanted to thank you for support on the pressure fling guide. The pressure fling guide was arguably trash. I thought it was a terrible video. But still, people liked it. It got attention. So I wanted to thank you. And I hope this video does a better job at explaining stuff and just showing it off. Thank you, and let's do the guide now. Hello. So today my goal is to talk about how to get better at tagging, just tagging as a whole. And there's a lot of stuff I want to cover. I want to cover Agro playstyle, which is one of the two main playstyles, and then passive playstyle, which is another one. This includes stuff like baby. And then I want to also talk about timing and spacing, which is how you're going to get further tags from like someone on that tree down here. And that's all I want to do today. So the first thing I want to do in this guide is I want to talk about timing and spacing. So timing and spacing is basically, well, how far away and the position you are in when you tag someone. So for like classic, an example of timing and spacing would be like, you're running, you're like right up here, and then you tag them like here. As far like you use your range to the max. That's basically what spacing and timing is, and that's what I kind of want to show off today. So I'm gonna spawn another bot here, and I'm using the console here to change my role. But so the range. So what the developers say the range is for tagging is like around 8-7 studs, and you can test that with the debug menu here, and that's what your tag is doing. Anywhere in the sphere is where your tag's gonna go. So that's why I can do that. You see how my crosshair wasn't on them? That's why I can hit them there. But you can see the range when you're standing still. It's gonna be a little different when you're moving because your latency is gonna be a bit off. But you can tag someone from here because it's in the ball, and that's like while running. That's going to come in very useful for stuff. When you're practicing your timing, I don't recommend just doing what I was just doing. I kind of recommend, in a private server with maybe a friend or something, just always try and extend your tags. Always go for the range tag. Just don't. That's what I call my timing and spacing. Just range. It's basically what it is. But I would always just try and go for, that. Even if you're not in close enough range, just still try and go for it. Because you never know. Maybe it will hit. Maybe it'll lag spike. Like, people will complain about the, range being terrible. Hitbox or whatever. It's not hitbox, it's hit scan, but it's because of that. It's because of latency. So maybe your latency is a little off. Maybe you'll get the, 10-stick tag, whatever. And I think this is, useful information to know for when you're, playing a classic crown, whatever, what a lot of people do. We go up, tag, see how that hit, that noise. That's kind of what you need to learn how to do if you want to improve, your chasing and stuff. Along with this should help chasing, as I was saying with chasing. Chasing, a lot of it's like half running, half tagging. You're never going to get, the tag on someone if, your chasing sucks, if you're running. But if you're, you have to learn how to run a little bit. So, always try and optimize your stuff. I'm not going to make a tutorial on that. That's not what I'm the best at. I'm best at tagging. But if you want to learn how to run, watch watch Nicholas's video. I'll put a link of it in the description. So if you want to see how to run better, he does like routes. They're pretty nice. So, but that's kind of what I want to show off with tagging and spacing. There's not much to it. Tagging, it's very basic. There's not a lot to talk about, but it's very, very important to the game because you can't play tag without the main part. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk to you about. So, what I wanted to do here was I kind of wanted to analyze some footage of Agro gameplay I have set up. This is what I did with a friend a little bit earlier. But basically, what I plan on doing is I just want to voice over what's happening in the clip, how I'm playing, what Reckitt's doing. That's my goal here. And hopefully I can explain it in a way so you can understand the premises behind the playstyle. Because with playstyles, you kind of have to choose what you want to do. Like, are you passive or are you aggro? Each playstyle has their own ups and downs, but I want to show you what each table has to offer. And once you do it, you can see what that gameplay should look like, hopefully. So, let's go into it, see what's happening, and then, I might do some examples to explain why I'm doing what I'm doing. Alright? So, let's start off. Let's start off now. Okay. See how I didn't stop there? Passive would be a bait. That would be an aggro bait I would have done if I were to bait or like turn back. And a bait is, trying to fake a hit out of them. Trying to make them do a hit so you can have so you have a one-time window to hit them when they're, on cooldown. If I were to bait that would have been an aggressive bait. There's like two types of baiting. Aggressive bait is where, while you're aggressing, you're like running towards them. You're like, still trying to like take a hit out of them. I'm sorry. But let's continue. Okay, he hit me. And I hit him. See how when you're aggro, you can't be scared of stuff like that. You always have to be up and close. That's the whole thing about aggro. It's like aggro in any other game. So see how I'm always up and next to him? I tried to stay next to him as much as possible without trying to let him, get away. Because if I were to chase him, he would have a window to get me. That's why I didn't go past the house. Because I could have been caught off guard. He could have went behind me and I would have missed my shot. I tried to stay in front of the house without still being like in front of him. So that's what I was doing there. And but also, in that clip, we can go back. Right here. No, a little bit past. Here. I overflicked too. I overcompensated so he had a chance to hit me without me hitting him. And I killed him, right next to him. That's the whole point of aggro. Just always stay close to your enemy. Okay. I died there because I was stupid. Hold on. Let's see what happened. He hit me before me. So that's just timing issue. That's why you have to work on your timing. See how important it is? I could have killed him way before, but I was just, my timing. It's reaction. Hit him there while strafing. Strafing's not passive. Aggressive strafing is running towards him and aggressive. Like, you're always ready to attack, but you're still not letting him have a chance to get on you. Sometimes with strafing, people will do it badly, giving you spaces where you can just come in and get them from the side. You want to try and avoid that. You always want to be aware of what your opponent's doing. And as you saw, I die here, I think. Yeah. And then when I come back, you'll see I'm immediately ready, immediately going in for the kill. I'm not like trying to bait him over to me. I'm trying to, immediately go for the kill. That's what you're doing in aggro. That's your main goal. Just always ready for something, and you're always engaging in a fight. You're never like passively waiting, trying to find a perfect opportunity. You're trying to make that opportunity yourself with your strafing. And that's kind of the whole goal. And see how I hit him? Yep. That's because of timing. He could have hit me. Well, he could, but his reaction time simply wasn't, It wasn't good enough to hit me. He kind of just, you know, let it happen. And that's what I wanted to show you. That's like the whole goal behind all of this. It's just to show you what it looks like and just to show you what it is. Now, I want to show you baiting. So here's a clip of Wreck-It. I'm going to demonstrate on him because he's usually a passive player. This is kind of passively playing the game. So as you can see, instead of engaging in a fight, he's kind of running. See, I still hit him, but that's not like what I'm trying to show you. Is this is kind of what passive is about. You're just trying to play defensively. See how he's always on that? See how he got the hit? It's because he has a more defensive position than me. If I was on top, if you're on top of that tower, you have a less, you know, effective position because he can just hit you while your toes are showing. If you were down there, you can. So that's kind of what passive is, like passively, you know, playing. Okay. So you see here, and we're in the game. Someone's trying to get you an FFA. You know, he's right there. He's coming towards you. You know, you could be like this. You're not really gaining a position, but you're just looking. You're waiting for him to come towards you. You know, he's running. You could wait. Like passive, you could wait for your opponent. So, let's say. See? So let's say this guy's right here. He's running towards me aggressively. Right. So passive, I could be running back. You're always making distance for yourself. You're trying to bait him. That's kind of all passive's about. So, you know, always turning back, slide, strafing side, like strafe backwards. That works. It's a good way to bait a hit because they don't expect it. It's awkward. It's awkward gameplay. You could, like, in Crossroads for, like, high-level play, Crossroads is the most used map. It is the most universally agreed upon, like, map. That's, like, good. There's this water area that you might use to your advantage for passive, for baiting, because you're always sliding around. So depending how you use it, you could use it to your advantage. And that's kind of what I wanted to show you. Passive playstyles also have things like, well, yeah, just like baiting. Like, there's a thing called a baby step that was really popular, like, back then. Where it was kind of like, you do that, like a form of just backing out. Today, that might be found in the form of, like that. Like, always going backwards, or, like that. I hope that's clear. I don't know how else to explain it, but, like, it should come naturally when you get better at it. I think if you were to use anything, like if you were to take something away from this video and it just doesn't immediately work, I think it should just because a lot of FFA is just like game sense. It's just understanding what your opponent's probably going to do. It's predicting. It's like, you know, spacing. That's a lot of what FFA is and how those strats have been developed. There's probably more stuff we haven't even found out yet. Just there's no, I mean, maybe we have no reason to. Playstyle that just doesn't have a use. Like, I don't know. A bait that might, like, be useless. There's, like, FFA is always changing. There's always a new meta. It used to be aggro, but now it's baiting. Aggro was so much harder to counter back then because of just, you know, NTP wasn't as, like, I don't know, potent. But now we have NTB that will last for 2 seconds. The only way to counter that is sharking. I can show you what sharking is. Sharking's basically it's where I go hit him while I'm running. Your opponent will be running around, but as soon as the NTB ends, see that NTB line he gets? The second that ends, that's when you can tag him. And that's what you're trying to do. So that's, the NTB timing is around 3 seconds, 2.4. It is one of the best skills you can learn for aggro. And passive if you need to do something like that. Like if someone's hyper like aggroing you and you have to pull something out like that, learning sharking would be so good. Because once they tag you or you tag them, it might be hyper aggro to you. You can't just run away. Your back's turned to them. You have to hit them. You cannot leave. Like, he's chasing me. If I were to jump, I can't fight back unless I did 1-8. But he's going to predict that. It's very predictable. I mean, I don't know. I can't show how predictable it is. But like while you're developing your skills, you'll see what I mean. Turning around like just randomly for no reason, that's going to be predictable. Because they're always going to try to tag you. Because, you know, they've understood that spacing can be a little funky at times. And that's just kind of what I wanted to, you know, show off. That's kind of all there is for playstyles and just tagging in general. And I think that, yeah, that should be the end of my... That's kind of it, but that's all I have to show you. Tagging is a very simple skill. It takes a lot of practice to learn. Like, all this stuff might sound, like, simple, but, like, it will take a while to develop these like, essential skills. Like, spacing, that takes forever to develop. But, I mean, I can't just make a tagging tutorial like pressure fling. It's not like a type of movement thing. That's why tagging... That's why I love tagging. Because, like, movement, you know... Sure, you can do this, but there's a way to do it. It's like a direct way. Tagging is like a sandbox game. It's like the sandbox of ETG. You can manipulate your tagging however you want. Like, what people are doing now, they'll, like, jump on trees, roll tag you, like, stuff like that. I would call that more like passive and that's like combining passive and aggro. And I just think that's the coolest part of that play. And I hope you agree. But, anyway, it's whatever. It's an opinion. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the guide. I just wanted to like share some of this, just because I've never seen someone make a guide before, and I just wanted to share all this info with people that I've gathered over like the past 3 years of playing UTG. So I hope you enjoy. Alright. So that's kind of all I wanted to share. Obviously there's going to be more stuff that I probably missed, but I mean, it's all the important stuff I wanted you to know. But at the beginning of the video, you know, remember how I mentioned if you're interested in competitive, you know, I'll talk about that. Don't join it right now. So currently, it's just dead. Competitive's not a good place to be at right now, just because of how inactive it is in terms of competitive related things, and also the fact of how it's just so biased towards running. Like, competitive is for, you know, tagging, running, it's all those skills, but right now it's just running. That's all like people in there are focusing about. The devs know this. I would wait till they drop the official comp server to look for a community that's interested in competitive, because ours is not official. Wreck-It was the one who owned the comp server that I'm talking about. He wants it to die. He's aware of what's happening. And there's not really much you can do. He's not going to delete it. People still talk there, but he just wants to let it die. So, I'm not going to link anything. If you're in the comp server, I would recommend leaving it. But, I mean, if you don't, I mean, it's whatever. It's your choice. So, just keep that in mind when you're in there. It's not the best community, but, I mean, it is a community. They're probably better than normal people. But I'd still not join it. I'd just play in, like, VC lobbies or whatever. Those usually have a bunch of decent players. Like, it's like a private server, VC lobbies. Like, if you need a place to be, just play in those. But that's kind of what I wanted to say. And again, I want to thank you for the support I got on the first video. So many people thought it was good. I didn't even think it was good, but that really surprised me. So I wanted to share that. And oh, that's my mom. But yeah, that's all I wanted to share today. Hope you enjoyed, but yeah. Thanks for watching.